Okay, hello. This is Enfield enthusiast. This is a long overdue video about the old 500cc. Let's talk about it. There is lots of folklore about this motorcycle, and I tried to sell this motorcycle for more than 6 times. You heard me right. I tried to sell this motorcycle for more than 6 times, but I can't. Let me tell you why and everything about the folklores and the history about this motorcycle and everything else. Okay, listen. Royal Enfield have lots of lineups. Okay, now, but they only have two particular motorcycles at the time: 350cc and 500cc. 500cc came to India in 1987 only for touring purposes because it's have a big, you know, cc, and it have a light crank so that people can travel long way without any tiredness. Also, this motorcycle can go up to more than you know many kilometers. It's miles eater. It goes very well, it rides very well, very smooth, everything else. Okay, and most importantly, they manufacture this motorcycle especially for touring. 350cc's are wonderful motorcycles, you can take them to for touring, but this is a different breed of motorcycle. Okay, there's lots of folklore, but I can't verify the stories, but I heard the same story from very old mechanics, many old mechanics, but the same story. They are trying to tell the same story in different way, but this is what I heard. Okay, so this is the folklore of the old cast iron 500cc. Let's talk about it. Royal Enfield produces 350cc, as I told, and they also produce 500cc. But mostly in India, they have 350cc's. People, according to at that time, they only know about bullet. That's it. The duk 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 sound, and they bought the bullet. I'm talking about 1970s to 2000. Okay, 2000, even for 2010s. Okay, until that, for them, bullet is duk duk and 350cc. That's it. But in India in 1987 they produced 500cc. They don't publicly, go for we producing 500cc's, come and buy it. They are not that kind of company at the time. But only specific kind of people knows the value about the 500cc. Okay, all right. But who bought 500cc at the time? The army veterans, because they in the service they use this 500cc old cast iron bullets for mountain ranges, because you can't feel anything in mountains when you ride this motorcycle, because the torque is enormous, the thump is absolutely awesome and very elegant. So they mostly prefer 500cc for mountainous areas in army or something like that. This is a folklore, I don't know, I can't verify this true or not, but I hear this from many old mechanics, so I'm just telling you the story. All right, so the army veterans, after retiring from army, they bought this motorcycle 500cc and started to travel all around India. So who bought 350cc's in India? At that time, they're landlords and very big people in the small towns. They own old 350cc, and they people know, okay, that guy is coming, because the duk duk sound reveal it themselves. So they saw these old army veterans who are traveling in the 500cc. So they're talking about motorcycling, and then the veterans are the one who told them, "What do you think about my motorcycle?" And then the landlords who own old 350cc, tell them that it's a bullet. And then the secret has revealed. Do you think this is a normal bullet? Gentlemen, this is a 500cc bullet. This is mine. Okay? If you want to own the legacy, buy 500. 350 is like a kid. But the 500cc are like the majestic, the highness. That kind of motorcycle. You can't own one. If if you want, you can go and buy one, but remember, but if you ride 500cc, you are not going to touch any other motorcycle in your lifetime. This is because that motorcycle becomes yours after you bought it, and then the thumb, everything imprinted in your bone, you know. And then they were like, okay, let's try that. And then the landlords bought by the 500cc. You know, they always keep the 350cc in majestic condition. You know, they decorate the old 350cc wonderfully. You know, the old guys who ride 350cc from 1970s to 2000, 30 years. So that guys decorated these bullets wonderfully. So they buy only few people buy 500cc. Only few people know Royal Enfield produce 500cc. So they buy 500cc. Shockingly, after buying 500cc, they sold their old 350cc, who they think it is very prestigious motor. They sold that, and then until they die, they rode only 500cc. They are not touching any other motorcycles. No, they are only riding their 500cc. But what the freaky thing is, they never sold their 500cc. That's the freaky thing. After they're dead, they wrote on their deed, when I die, bury this motorcycle with me, because every single thing in this motorcycle is imprinted about me on this motorcycle. Okay, I'm not going to give this motorcycle to anybody, even to my son. Bury this motorcycle or put this motorcycle to scrap, because this motorcycle is mine. This is the folklore. I was like, there are many 500cc's go to scrapyard or to the graveyards. People are telling me this. I was like, what is the real mystery about this motorcycle? Why this motorcycle is very, very, admired by the only riders and everything else? So I dig up on it. I try to find this motorcycle everywhere, but I can't find anything. And then I was hunting for this motorcycle for more than 3 years, from 2000, no more than from 2015. I have been hunting this motorcycle, but I can't find anything. So but I successfully I find it on OLX in my state. I was shocked. I was like, are you serious? This guy's selling a 500cc. And then I go to buy this motorcycle. The old owner, dude, Jesus fucking Christ, sorry for my language, but this is the reality. The old owner of this motorcycle was like, you ride 350cc? At the time I owned a old 350cc. So he asked me, do you ride 350cc? I said, yes sir, I do. And then he asked me for photos, and I sent him my old 350 photos. And then, excuse me. Yep. So, and excuse me, yes I do. And then I have he asked me for photos. I sent him the photos, and he was like, okay, you know what, come and see me. And then I go and visit him and then try to test ride this motorcycle. First thing he did, he gave me the keys and he was like, ride it. And then he sat in back as a passenger, and I rode this motorcycle very smoothly. And then when I get down, he was like, do you know anything about this motorcycle? I said, yes sir, this is a 500cc. And he was like, do you know how this motorcycle changes hands? I was like, what are you talking about? And then he told me, we give this 500cc only for 350cc owners, old 350cc owners who kept his machine in perfect condition like this. He kept this motorcycle like this. So I was like, okay. And then he told me, if you're going to sell this motorcycle, you have to sell this back to me. You are not allowed to sell it to anybody. I was like, Jesus Christ, dude, what's wrong? What's going on? He was like, you will learn. Have fun. And then he just tried to get away. He gave me the RC book and he was like, have fun. And then he tried to get to his home. I was like, dude, you forgot the cash. And he was like, oh, sorry, I forgot. Come on, give me the cash. And then I settled him the cash, and then I took this motorcycle. I restored her. The funny thing is, I already ridden 350cc, and now I'm trying to ride this. There is no physical difference, but the first thing I noticed is the torque, dude. Absolutely immaculate torque. I mean, if you ride old 350cc's, it's a little bugger. They always still thumping sweetly and everything else, but this thumps heavily. So I was like, wow, okay, all right. And then I rode her more than 150 kilometers to my hometown. The funny thing is, I came back and then I put a heavy crank on it, and I told everything about the You can see the old 500cc videos in my channel. I explained what kind of restoration I did to this motorcycle and everything else. So I did it. My mechanic told me, gentlemen, nobody puts heavy crank in old 500cc, but you did. You are fucked for life. You are not going to ride any other motorcycle in your life anymore, because 500cc's are unique and this motorcycle is very, very unique, because nobody in this world put heavy crank in this motorcycle. You know, I was like, fuck you, dude. Give me my motorcycle, and I rode it back to home. But what is the shocking thing that made me realize this is a fucking legend in Royal Enfield is, I took this motorcycle to Kerala to meet my friend. I don't want to mention his name, and you don't like to mention his name. He owns old G2, He lives up the hills, so I went there, and he's there. He was like, okay, dude, you want to come to the hills? I was like, yes, you are living up the hill. How can I come? He gave me the Google Map routes, so I tried to go there. But the funny thing is, it's a monsoon season in Kerala. Kerala and monsoon season is nasty thing. And I was riding this thing. He asked me what kind of ride did you take. I told him I have won my 500. I'm coming up in my 500. He was like, that's a no-go. There is a mechanic shop nearby. I call him and tell him, you park your motorcycle in the garage, mechanic garage, and then you pick up the Jeep there. The Jeep is getting down now. It could be after 45 minutes. It will be in the where you are. You can ride the old Jeep and then come and meet me. I was like, okay, but it's raining. I don't want to waste time, so I took the path. I started to climb this baby girl, and then I met the Jeep few kilometers, on the Ghat roads. They all shocked. They all looked at me like a ghost. Every single heads in that Jeep just stand around me and looking at me. I was like, I have no idea. I just went up, and then I meet him, and he is looking at me like, how in the world did you get up? And I was like, with this. His jaw dropped. He was like, okay, all right, come on, get in. And then I went up. I don't know. I have no idea why he looked at me like that. Why everybody in the Jeep looked at me like that. But I went inside, and next day, there is a Christmas, day after tomorrow is Christmas. And then next day, he took me to down, to the local town to buy some groceries and cakes and everything else. So he was like, let's go on your bullet. So in this, I was like, okay. He sits behind, and I am the rider, and he sits behind, and we went down and then bought everything for him. And then we got up again on the Ghat roads. High on the hills, he have a little town. I don't want to mention the town name. The dude is a notoriously private person like me. He don't want to reveal anything about himself like me. So we went up to his town. Everything happy. When I got down, he have lots of groceries. I kept it in front. He's sitting behind. I was the one riding. So when I went to his home, we let the groceries in the front of the tank. I get everything down and then put it in the down. He is still shocked. He looked at the motorcycle like a nightmare. I have no idea why he looked at my motorcycle like that. But he is shocked. He was looking at my motorcycle. What the heck is this? What kind of motorcycle is this? I was like, all right, dude, what's going on? He was like, okay, let's talk about this tomorrow. Next day is Christmas. Night time we went to the mosque, church mosque, and then tomorrow, next day is Christmas. We gathered a lot of sweets for the people in downtown, and then we tried to go. So he took his bullet now, G2, and he is the one driving the bullet. I was the passenger in his bullet, G2, 1960 model G2. He's the one riding. I'm the one sitting behind. We go downstairs and we give sweets to local people. And then now, when we have to go to the uphill, he gave his G2 to me to ride. Now he is sitting as a passenger. I'm the one who's sitting as a rider. So I'm the riding G2. We are climbing. All right. Listen to this very carefully. This is the freaky thing. We are climbing. I was so pissed at his motorcycle. I was like, what the heck did you keep in this motorcycle, dude? Why is the front wheel is wobbling? Did you know You didn't take the alignment check, you stupid fuck. What kind of motorcycle you keeping? And then I have to change, lower the gear rapidly, and then the motorcycle is really little bit stressing in the ghat roads. I was scolding him every single kilometer, but I only ride like 3 kilometers, and I was like, okay, this is enough. I'm not going to ride your motorcycle, fucking asshole. And then I gave his motorcycle. I sat back as a passenger. Now he is riding to his home. After we went to this home, he told me, give me a fucking cigarette. So I gave him a cigarette. Now we are smoking, and then he was like, okay, first tell me, what kind of difference did you notice? I was looking, you fucking asshole, your wheel is out of alignment. And he was like, gentlemen, my wheel is perfect. Do you know why I looked shocked the first day when he entered in my home? I was like, yes. He told me, there is nobody going to ride bullet in the ghat roads without any road. It's a winter time. It's a monsoon time, dude. Your bike going to skid, but your bike rode very smoothly at the time. That's why I tell you, that's why I'm shocked looking at your bullet, like, what the heck, how did he came? And then he was like, okay. And then now I want to check what kind of motorcycle do you have. That's why we went down before the Christmas day, December 25th, we went down, bought some groceries, and he was like, listen to this very carefully. I am 110 kgs. That guy is sitting behind 110 kgs. You are 75 kgs. We are buying the groceries more than 40 kgs. We kept it front, it's a big bag. We kept it front. And there is no road. It is a ghat road. There is no road. And your motorcycle climbs on freaking fourth gear on 30 kilometers per hour without any struggle. Nothing, just nothing. It just thumps, dude. It just thumps. I don't feel that your motorcycle is riding uphill. It just thumps and it just glides very smoothly. That's why when we get down, I was so jaw dropped and still shocked and looking at your motorcycle. What kind of machine is this? What did you do? And then I told you to ride my motorcycle, G2. And then that's why you were giving me all this bullshit glitter at my motorcycle. My wheel alignment is fine. We don't have roads. We have mud. That's why my motorcycle is less waving like here and here, but your motorcycle don't. I have no idea what you did to your motorcycle, but this is a gem. And then he told me, whatever you do not sell your fucking motorcycle, dude. Whatever you do, this is a gem. This is very unique. Even G2, I don't know how to tell this. And I just turned my head to this motorcycle and then realized, what the fuck have I done to this motorcycle? Because it is something else, dude. I'm telling you, because after riding this motorcycle, I have no idea why I don't like my 350cc. I just gave that motorcycle to restoration. This is that motorcycle still in restoration. I will show you, But this is something else. In ghat roads, without any road, in Kerala monsoon season, in ghat roads, without any roads, with muddy roads, with 110 kg guy in back, he's a fatso, that motherfucker. He sat behind and I'm sitting in front, and there is a more than 40 kg load in back, fourth gear, 30 kilometers per hour, without any, waving and things. This motorcycle ride very smoothly. I have no idea how to explain. And when I came back, I just cleaned this motorcycle, polished it, and then covered it. I never ride this motorcycle enough, because whenever you ride it, you're gonna avoid every single motorcycle. I have two 500cc's. I showed you saw that in my channel and everything else, but I sold every single one of them. Even the classic 500 Desert Storm, I sold it recently and bought this Creeper. But this thing stays forever, dude. I have no idea why, because I tried to sell it more than 6 times, but every single time people came and gave me advanced. I told them, let me ride it one more time. But when I ride and came back, I was like, no sir, I'm not going to give this motorcycle, and return them their advance. And then they always called me, why then you put this motorcycle on sales? I was like, I have no idea. And because this little bugger, I can tell you that there is a bug in this motorcycle. What kind of bug? Addictive bug. If you ride this motorcycle, very sweet thumper, and this motorcycle creates a hub around you. You have no idea that you're riding a motorcycle. It glides on road. It never rode. It glides on road. You have no idea that you're riding or the motorcycle standing or just thumping. You have no idea that motorcyclists are going on road or off road, or this motorcycle climbing uphill or downhill, or you're riding on a sand, water. You have no idea. You only hear one thing: duk 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 duk. That the fucking thing that you can hear, and this motorcycle give you that kind of vibe. It kind of mesmerizing. It kind of hypnotizing. You have no idea what goes around you. You only hear thump sound. That is the bug in this motorcycle. I tried to sell this 6 times, but I can't. I cannot, because I fine tune this motorcycle myself. Yes, I do. I told the mechanic, he knows everything about me, how I ride this motorcycle, how I tune this motorcycle. So this motorcycle is tuned according to my taste, how I ride. I don't rush in this motorcycle. I only glide this motorcycle on 40 kilometers per hour. So the thump is personalized for me. Every single thing that you saw in this motorcycle have my thumbprint. It sticks in your bone, man. It seriously sticks in your bones. That thump, duk 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 duk. You can't. I don't know how to express myself about this motorcycle. It is like you. It is like your wife. If you have a Volt 3 500cc, you know what I'm talking about. It's like your wife. Okay, let's take Interceptor. Let me compare this both two. You can rev this. Just little throttle, this motorcycle is like a vroom, and then if you do that here, this motorcycle turn off. Seriously, it really turns off. It was like, what did you do to me? Why you give too much throttle? I'm gonna turn off. Just give throttle nicely and smoothly. I will glide you, your elegance. That's how this motorcycle behaves, And you have to crank her up very beautifully while, looking at the amp meter, everything else. And it's too personal. It's too personal for me. And it sticks in your DNA, This thump sticks in your DNA. It is too much for you. I know. It is too much for people to hear that. This is too much, man. This is too much. I know it is. It is for me. This is how this motorcycle made me feel, It sticks in your bone. It sticks in your DNA. You cannot sell this motorcycle. Whatever you do, if you live with this motorcycle more than 2 years, you are fucked for life. I'm 100% sure. I don't know how to say this, but you will, I know every single thump in this motorcycle. I know every single nut and bolts in this motorcycle. And funny thing is, every single mechanical parts is handmade for me, according to me, for my taste. So this is more personalized vehicle for me, for my riding pleasure. How can I sell this motorcycle? I can't. The rider MJ, that bugger, just called me and then told me that please don't sell your motorcycle. He's the one who pressurized me not to sell this motorcycle. I took a ride yesterday. I adjusted, the carburetor, air and fuel mixture according to my taste, and the RPM meter according to my taste. Just little bit tweaks, and then she cooed elegantly, and then I glide on road for more than 50 kilometers. I have no idea how time have passed, how I reached my home. I have no fucking idea. This is too much for me, That's why I told you, this is my wife, dude. This is my wife. Because I know every single thump in this motorcycle, every single liter of this motorcycle, petrol on this motorcycle is spent by me, driven by me, rode by me. This is too much personalization for me. So I'm sorry, I'm not going to sell this motorcycle. So until I die, even if I die, this is going with me to my grave or going to the scrap. so I can't. I'm sorry, sir. So this is the folklore, and this is my experience and my yada 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 about this motorcycle, the old 500cc. Sorry for all the yapping, and it's like 25 minutes now. So yes, sir. This is a 2000 model. I bought this on 2021. I restored it and then kept it, and this is how this idiot sticks with me. I call her, you know, Her Majesty. This is her name. I kept her the name, Her Majesty. She is majestic, isn't she? Okay. So this is the folklore that I'm longly overdue video I told lots of video ago. There is a folklore about this video. This is the folklore, and I realized after the Kerala ride, I realized what kind of this is the folklore is real, because this is how this motorcycle made you feel about her elegance, and then that's how I stuck with this bugger. All right, thank you so much for all your patience and all your generosity. Please kindly subscribe and also like and share about this video. Thank you.